Macron's sidewalk. Call to Trump signals a bold push for Gaza peace, New York. On a chilly September evening, French President Emmanuel Macron found himself unexpectedly stranded on a Manhattan street. A U.S. Secret Service lockdown had frozen traffic as Donald Trump's motorcade passed by. Rather than wait idly, Macron pulled out his phone and dialed the former U.S. president directly. "I'd love for us to have a quick discussion with Qatar and you about the situation in Gaza," Macron told Trump, according to aides who overheard the exchange. The call was unplanned but perfectly timed. Just hours earlier, Macron had delivered a landmark address at the United Nations General Assembly, announcing that France, along with a dozen other Western nations, now formally recognized the State of Palestine. For Macron, the brief pause on a midtown sidewalk became an opportunity to draw Trump closer to his vision for Middle East peace. An unlikely diplomatic moment. Trump, known for his unpredictability and combative style, surprised many by responding warmly. "His words of wisdom mean a lot, and we've been friends for a long time now," he told reporters the next day, as the two men met face-to-face at the UN. Even on the contentious issue of Palestinian recognition, Trump's tone was softer than expected. He merely echoed Israel's concern that recognition could benefit Hamas, avoiding the sharp criticism many had anticipated. Macron's outreach was part of a broader strategy. He hopes to shape Trump's thinking ahead of a high-stakes meeting in Washington with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, where Netanyahu is expected to outline Israel's response to the recognition drive. Tensions around Israeli retaliation. European and Arab diplomats worry that Netanyahu could take irreversible steps, including the annexation of parts of the West Bank, a move considered a red line by France, the United Arab Emirates, and many others. Alongside recognition of Palestine, France and its Arab partners are demanding three immediate safeguards: no forced displacement of Gazans, a stronger, more unified Palestinian Authority territorial contiguity between the West Bank and Gaza. These demands align with the broader day-after strategy that Arab states believe is essential for a lasting ceasefire. Echoes of the Abraham Accords in his own UN speech. Trump pointed to his previous role in negotiating the Abraham Accords, which normalized relations between Israel and several Arab states after ending so many wars, and negotiating the Abraham Accords, a very big thing for which our country received no credit. "Everyone says I should get the Nobel Peace Prize," he said. Macron, in a television interview, offered a pointed rejoinder: "The Nobel Peace Prize is only possible if you stop this conflict." Despite such encouragement, the United States remains outside the coalition of 142 nations that endorsed the French-Saudi-New York Declaration on September 12th, a document that lays out a roadmap toward Israeli-Palestinian peace, a potential breakthrough French officials hope Washington will eventually sign on, believing U.S. support is crucial to securing a ceasefire and freeing remaining hostages. A durable truce, they argue, requires a comprehensive plan backed by Arab states, something that hinges on eventual Palestinian statehood. Signs of movement are emerging. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff said Trump presented Arab leaders with a proposal this week that could lead to a breakthrough within days. A French diplomat added, "Our aim is to ensure Netanyahu doesn't take irreversible steps and that Trump offers a Blair-Kushner plan shaped by our discussions." According to regional reports, former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner have recently briefed the former president on a post-war framework. The proposal has evolved from earlier ideas about paying Gazans to leave the enclave to creating a property rights preservation unit, The Times of Israel reported. Planning for the day after. Behind closed doors at the UN, ministers from France, Britain, Indonesia, and other countries have already discussed practical steps for stabilizing Gaza once a ceasefire is in place. Security forces. France and its allies are working on financing the training of Palestinian security officers, with programs already underway in Egypt and Jordan. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has indicated the bloc would help fund the effort. Peacekeepers. Indonesia has pledged at least 20,000 troops for a multinational force. Italy and France have also sent personnel to existing EU missions that train Palestinian police and customs officials. Merging visions. Ultimately, European and Arab diplomats want their initiatives to dovetail with Washington's approach, whoever occupies the Oval Office. "We welcome U.S. efforts on Gaza," a French diplomatic source said. "But if America wants our participation, there are clear lines it must uphold." For Macron, the impromptu street corner call was more than a symbolic gesture. It signaled a willingness to seize any opening, however unexpected, to steer a long-running conflict toward peace. Whether Trump ultimately embraces France's roadmap could determine whether this fleeting conversation becomes a historic turning point or just another episode in the region's endless cycle of diplomacy.